HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The nation's leader challenging Family Island administrators to play a greater role in the leadership of the country as they have the capability through their jobs to shape the leadership and effectiveness of governance. Good evening, everyone. I'm Charisma Robinson.
I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie opened a special conclave at the Mailey Resort today. And as Clint Watson tells us, they're looking at transforming the sector.
Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie making it clear that their jobs as Family Island administrators is no joke.
You have a very special position in this country. You're able to, at ground level, measure the level of effectiveness of governance. And all the policies of a central government in an island nation, your job is much more important than those administrators in other countries where you could drive from one end of the island to the next.
The administrators from around the archipelago are meeting in symposium over the next few days to enhance their leadership skills and productivity while addressing challenges and embracing opportunities. Minister for Local Government, the Honorable Hope Strawn, challenged administrators to take advantage of the two-day forum as it will provide new approach to solving existing challenges.
You are the leaders in your respective communities. It is therefore essential that you sharpen and hone your skills on a continuous basis. You must carry out your duties without fear or favor and with the highest degree of integrity. The people in these small islands, many of them, in these communities, they look up to you and are much affected and influenced by your actions.
The Prime Minister addressed the job of an administrator, pointing to key targets they should be achieving. He says they should know their job well as they are expected to deliver.
To deliver levels of efficiency and effective governance in local government administration that will give you the satisfaction based on the outcomes you will bring about.
While thanking those administrators who worked tirelessly in the aftermath of Hurricane Joaquin, the Prime Minister spoke to what he called one absolute requirement of Family Island administrators.
Ensure that you know the Bahamas. That even though you may not have been placed beyond where you are now, that the very definition of the functions that are incorporated into the role you play must be a certain knowledge of the Bahamas.
Mr. Christie says administrators must know what's happening in the Bahamas, but he noted a fundamental right of every Bahamian is to participate and have equal rights to opportunities in the country. He says Family Island administrators must ensure this equity is provided. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
School administrators, teachers, and 11th and 12th graders of the Doris Johnson High School attended a church service and grief counseling session today. It was an effort to help them cope with the tragic stabbing death of their 16-year-old schoolmate yesterday.
This as police made 2 arrests today in connection with the stabbing. They arrested a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old today. Director of Education Lionel Sands noted that the teams from Education's grief counselors and the pastor and ministers from Grace Community Church met with the students and administrators to offer comfort. He also appealed to students to resolve their difficulties in a peaceful manner.
In spite of all of this, sometimes things happen, and whenever those things happen, like yesterday, it is shocking for not only the teachers and administrators, but also for ministry personnel. Because, no parent should be burying a child. It's the other way around where children bury their parents. And whenever that happens, then it's the reverse of nature, and that takes its toll.
Sands noted that education officials will also be asking police to increase their visibility in the area of Doris Johnson High School to ensure that students and staff feel safe once school reopens after the holidays.
The time when school gets out and the time when children are dispersed to their various homes, we're asking the police to be more visible to prevent these kinds of things. Not that they weren't visible yesterday, by the way, because they were on the school ground when the children left. On that same corridor yesterday, the principal was actually half a mile up from the school ensuring that children were dispersed properly. And the incident happened just a few hundred yards beyond where the principal was.
As the government plans to roll out its national health insurance plan in January, NHI project manager and Deputy Chief Medical Officer Dr. Delon Brennan is pointing out that the program will not cost users either in taxes or payment at the time of service in the initial phase. But it will be beneficiaries, he says, who will determine what they want out of the program as it progresses.
It's in the hands of the Bahamian public, because I think once we roll out the primary care services and the fund for the invasive procedures and invasive needs, then I think we'll start to gain some momentum as to what people see is possible through national health insurance. But at some point, the reality is going to kick in for us all that if we want that next level of care, if we want more things to be added, that we are going to need to pay for it. There is no such thing as free lunch. We're going to have to pay for it. So
the lunch is free now.
It isn't free because it's coming out of what we already expend through payments in the system already.
Taxes.
Yes, the government only has revenue through taxation. Right. So we're already paying for it. So it's not free. But it isn't any new taxes being added onto it. So we're just reapportioning some of what we're already spending in order to accomplish what we do in the first phase.
Now, Dr. Brennan adds that primary coverage is the first step in the rollout for several valid reasons.
When we went to the people and asked them what they wanted, they told us they wanted good, quality, respectful primary care services, because that's what they attach every day. There's only 6% of our population that needs hospital level services in a year, but 100% of our population needs primary care services every year. That's where we have to start.